And I don't want to talk about meeting learner needs. I want to talk about meeting your needs before the learner needs. You all have these basic needs that you've got there. And you've got to, if you want to feel good about yourself, you've got to have all those needs met. And technology, eats away at all those needs. It does, And there's something so simple. You walk into the UTS and you say, I'm having a little problem. I say, oh, it's easy to fix. And then they say, is there anything else? And you say, no, it's well, okay. Like it's just, don't bother me with that, sometimes. But the thing is, sometimes it's challenging. It's like, have you ever had a problem before with a boyfriend? That's something, they're all listening. That's something you can solve. You can work it out. Maybe. The way would be to get rid of them. Well, no. But with a computer, that's a different problem. It's not a human being. You can't reason with it. So let's take a peek here. It's not fear. It's losing your sense of efficacy. Like that's power, generally speaking. But that's a regular teacher. You people, I don't think, most people here, that you feel as if you got the power. You're quite confident, as long as you got the time, with your laptops. You know that you're going to be able to teach successfully next year. So that's not the problem. That's the problem. Lack of human resources, as far as the team is concerned. That was right on. There's the other one. Lack of financial resources. Like if you go to the schools right now, they don't have laptops. Some of them have Commodore 64s. They were born before some of you people were. But the technology that is not there. I did a little workshop with the senior kindergartens, and I pulled in one of my stories and I set it up on the PowerPoint, and I had the kids crawling all over my part. I was like, well, get your hands off my laptop, But they were more interested in that. They'd never seen that before, because it just wasn't there. Anyway, whoa, this is like, if you want to pay attention, now is the time to pay attention. Why? Because these two colored pages are the 10 tips that we have to get even more power than you have right now. Let's take a peek at it. Here's the first one. Read self-help technology books that have pictures and text. What I'm referring to is not this one. Like this is the kind of book you take home. Do you live here in town? Yeah, so when you go home, where do you live? Said, oh, you can go home. You can take this book home and just kind of leave it on the table. So it's one of the books I'm reading for this weekend. No pictures, it's all text. That's not the kind of book that you take home, or that one either. Here's the kind of book that you take home. And then like this one. No, I'm not giving this away. Like there's creating PowerPoint presentations in a weekend. Like it's a lie, but at least there are pictures in it. So I'll share that one with you. It's a myth. This one's even better. Windows XP, plain and simple. Why? Because it's glossier. And it's all, look, color pictures. And that stimulates your brain. But you gotta have the pictures in there. If you've got the pictures, it's going to save you because you can match it up with what you have on your screen. So I joke about it, but I'm just going to hide those. Please do not come up here. You keep your. All right. Okay, so there's number one. Learn the basics, the game, and the game, and the game. And then when you go home, and have a drink, and just drink. I'm not drinking something, but if you have a drink, and all of a sudden you forget all of that. And that's because of the one drink was so big. Familiarize yourself with terms. Don't try to learn everything in one step, or in one sitting. And that's my wife's putting that one in there. Because when I want to learn something, and I'm usually at the kitchen table, like I become a maniac. And she says, Jack, take a break. I said, I'm into it like it's a challenge, And she says, relax, like you can't do it all at once, And she says, Jack, apparently when she said, Jack, I'm going to bed, And I kept her working. She said, with another man. I kept working. And she said, Jack, you're not listening. I said, pardon? And then she said, I'm just joking. And I said, what are you joking about? She says, doesn't matter. And they told me what it was. But I don't get so consuming that you have to do it all at once. Unless, of course, you have to have something done on an assignment by midnight, and then you know some of you, like I know how some of you work. You know, some of you, when you get your assignment, you know, you let it steep. You know, and then the last night, the pressure's on you, do it all in one night. You know, and you do manage to get it done. Other people just do it bit by bit all the way through. Just as an aside for a moment, the research says that those people who leave things till the end are just as successful as those people who do it bit by bit. I don't tell the students that, because we're always telling them, you know, like, oh, you got to do a little bit at a time. Don't leave things till the end. You know. Anyway, let's keep going. You know, practice, 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 and share what you know with another person. Like, we don't do enough of that. You know. And the next one here, form teams. Like, you say, no, especially when you start teaching next year, you know, hook up with another teacher if you can, you know, and work with that person. Like, it's amazing, like, with the people I work with, I got a great job, I just work with the profs, mostly in arts and science. And I said, you're my mentor, like, I'm their coach. And we work, we don't have enough of that. Do you have a coach? No, not really. Your vice principal coming in to evaluate you, or your principal coming in to evaluate you, or your, what do you call it, the academic advisor. And he's friendly, or she's friendly, but they also have to write a report. You know, so as friendly as they can be, there's still that anxiety that's there. You know, next year, see if you can get yourself a coach so you can work with somebody. You know, not your boyfriend. You know, but because you know he's well, forget. Ask questions, listen attentively to the responses, you know, and then ask other questions. You know, because sometimes you ask and then they'll say, "Well, do you understand?" And you say, "Well, yeah, it's a lot clearer now." And then you go and you say, "What the hell are you talking about?" Because you don't know. It's all right to say, "I'm more confused now than when I asked the question." You know, could you kind of try it one more time? You know, and then they'll say, "Well, what point are you really confused over?" And you say, "I don't know." Like, I'm so confused I don't even know what to ask. You know, and admit that. So hopefully you'll have someone who's patient, who'll help you along. You know, and you need human support. That's that coach and mentor. And accept the fact that your computers are going to take you more time than what you do if you didn't have a computer. Like that's sad. You know, but it's true. You know, but don't tell other people that. You know, as we go through. Okay, we're almost finished here. Okay, you got to have a vision. I have a vision for my job here at Nipissing. It's not the technology one. I want to create a coaching center so profs want to come here in arts and science to learn how to teach. Like that's and I think that's very important because some of them don't know. You know, like the new people who probably experience some of those people. If you're going to have a vision in technology, you know, then a vision is a dream. What do you want to do with technology? You know, and I don't know. I have another dream about going to Australia because I've been working with people electronically, you know, and I like them, I think, but I've never seen their bodies, like or their faces. Sorry, their faces. So I meant to say, oh, that's terrible. I'm working with 3 women and 1 man. That's it. Oh, anyway, have a vision or a dream. It's late. You know, skills. You know, I've been teaching 45 years, and I am sure getting the skills down. You know where I should be right now? I should be teaching in the elementary schools or the high schools because I finally got my act together. I know how to involve kids. I know how to inform them. I can inspire them. I can motivate them. You know, but it's a lot of work in the elementary school and the high school. I'd rather work with you people. You know, so that's what I'm saying here. You know, but you got to have certain skills.